Good morning, evening, afternoon all. This video is a brief outline and detailment of the WoW O2X app, formerly known as the Odoo to Xero connector. A few brief features and functionalities of this app prior to jumping in is the syncing of your invoices, bills, credit notes, payments, refunds, tracking categories, chart of accounts, and tax codes, to name a few of the information that automatically and manually syncs between Odoo and Xero through this app. This essentially eradicates the manual entry hassle and allows you to have real-time data harmony at a more frequent timing. For ourselves, jumping in to the marketplaces, this is a multifaceted app. So at a high level, the listing shows you a list of all your marketplaces. The logbook shows you a record of all the processed transactions between Odoo and the connection, in this case Xero. Your sales channels and process are not applicable for the Xero connection here, but at a high level, sales channels shows all your sales channels connected, and your processes are more for product-based integrations. For ourselves, the Xero connector, jumping inside, once you have, or you've navigated over here, you may create your marketplace. For ourselves, jumping into the example connection, you can see here you can name accordingly, but you're selecting your marketplace as Xero, all the information in terms of setting statuses towards the syncing, your invoice status on how you want invoices to appear inside Xero, and the payment status. You can either have both way pulled from Xero or pushed from Odoo, depending on where you get your payments from applicably. The credential configurations is your connections. You will need to fill this out through getting all these tokens from Xero. There are a few things you can generate from Odoo's side. Sales order configuration is not applicable through the Xero connector. You will not need to worry about that. Sync process. If you wish to sync contacts, GL accounts, payments, all the syncing information can be found in the syncing process. You can see which information has synced and which has not synced through this screen over here. Once you have actually set up your connector, with the auto syncing, you may switch this on, and what that will do, it will create crons for you. A cron is another word for an automated action that happens at a certain timing period. When you switch these on, you may jump in and you may select what action you want to run, and you may select the timing basis for that. Consolidation configuration is only if you have consolidated invoices, and when you turn that on, you can just select the applicable sales channel for it. But for the O2X connector, it's not really that applicable. For ourselves, the analytic accounts, the taxes are two pieces of information. When you actually connect your Xero to your Odoo file, your analytic accounts and your taxes will flow in from Xero to Odoo, and they will be presented over here. You will see them appropriately. Your processes are your actions that you can run automatically, and they are a connection to, in this case, they have the connection to your logs. So the logbook and your processes, when you go into it, you can see what the issues were, whether it succeeded or whether it failed. If it's red, it failed. If it's green, it's success. If it is grey, then it means it hasn't run yet, or the cron hasn't run appropriately. Speaking of crons, if we navigate back over to the cron section of things, if we navigate over here, you can see an example of a cron. When these crons will be automatically created when you complete the connection, but when you're creating a cron, if you have developer background, essentially, you may create these crons through Python, applicably through these codings. But otherwise, elsewise, when you connect your Xero to Odoo file, all of these will be created for you applicably to run the connection appropriately. But you can see here inside, you can see the next execution date of when X action will be run, and the interval of when it will run at that point. Anything that's ticked is active, anything that is not ticked is not active, as a final note. For ourselves, on the main tab here, you can see there is an import function. Through this, you may sync Xero to Odoo or Odoo to Xero. It is mainly Xero to Odoo in terms of the initial setup of contacts, taxes, GL accounts, tracking categories, and payments. For Odoo to Xero, once you set this up, there are certain crons that will be created to push information back, but you also have the syncing processes over here if you wish to do it manually. Any questions, queries, qualms, concerns regarding the O2X connection, feel free to reach out to sales@wowconnect.com. And if you wish to further reach out to us concerning customizations, we are most happy to do that as well. Have a good rest of the day, and we will catch you in our next video. Many thanks.